Okay, everybody, it is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, July 6, 2022. I just can't help but wonder what kind of crap the media, which controls the United States, absolutely is going to fist feed all of us. It's absolutely out of control. And it's all about control, as you are well aware. It's astonishing to me the state of affairs in the world, not just here in the United States. We got social unrest in Europe starting to really pick up as the cost of living is out of control. Um, the same thing's eventually going to happen here in the United States. There's no doubt about it. People are being pushed to the breaking point. At the same time, I really do believe that people here in the United States are, in fact, the most dumbed down of any nation on earth, period, the end. They've been lulled into some kind of state of zombieism. Is that even a word? They've been turned into zombies. People via the media don't know what's happening, what's going on. All they do know is they're struggling, and that struggle is about to get much, much worse. Mortgage demand, we found out this morning, continues to fall off a cliff despite the fact that rates are dropping. Rates are dropping. Let's see. I wonder how or why that is happening right now. Maybe it's action, backdoor action of the Federal Reserve here getting in and suppressing rates yet again via some kind of mechanism. Don't call it quantitative easing. No, it's not, because they're not doing that. And of course, you know that the Fed's balance sheet is shrinking, even though it's actually ballooning. And that's the balance sheet that we're allowed to see. The truth is always hidden in plain sight, people. Excuse me. My nose is itchy. Anyway, so with that said, let's look over at the market real quick. You got stock futures lower. Yesterday was nothing short of freaking miraculous. What a turnaround in this market towards the end of the day. And the Fed isn't buying stocks. You know they're not, because they say it. And if they're telling you they're not, that it must be true. They just buy everything else. They just don't buy stocks. They don't buy the stock market. Just everything else. Amazing, isn't it? Crude oil this morning making a rebound up about 1%. WTI back over 100. You got silver higher this morning, gold under a little pressure, Bitcoin hovering around 20,000. It's been stuck here for quite a long time. You got the knee-jerk higher in the dollar this morning, and people, the 10-year yield 2.79. 2.79. Just think about what that means. Not even 2 weeks ago, we're at 3.5. It's crazy. Later on today, we're going to hear from the Federal Reserve, their minutes from the last meeting. And what are they going to tell us? Let's see. The U.S. economy is doing really well. Of course, they won't tell you that, our economy is actually shrinking. That's what the mainstream media was telling us, but no. Remember what they do. They're going to tell you one thing, and then the next day or a couple of days later, no. Wasn't so. It's some kind of mind-twisting scheme. It's vomitous, in my view, what's going on. It's a psyop. There's no doubt about it. So anyway, that's pretty much where we stand this morning. It's lovely as usual. Let's see what they pull off today. Honestly, who knows? Just be ready for anything. Realize the environment that you're in right now, where nothing makes sense, nothing is real whatsoever. And we're definitely spiraling into some new thing, people. I've been telling you for how long now? A new paradigm, a new set of rules, all about control. That's it. I mean, I can't imagine there's a single person out here who doesn't see that. But you do realize that you're going to be told repeatedly, hold on, itchy nose, that what you're seeing with your own eyes is just not real. So I was writing a few other things down this morning here, and I don't know. I think you got it covered. There's no other reason to talk about the nonsense, the garbage, the dog shit, the propaganda, the distractions anymore. Don't allow yourself to be lulled into a sense of learned helplessness. This is a real thing. I want you to look it up as a homework assignment. Learned helplessness. It's kind of an interesting phenomenon, and I think people are being pushed into that feeling that there's nothing that they can do about the current situation. If enough of us were to get together and rise up, I think we could make a difference, but there's so few of people like you. There's so few people like you and I who are able to see a little further down the road, who are able to put together the current environment, because we're not paying attention to the fake dog shit news, the propaganda, the media that basically controls America. And that's a big problem. We need more people. I mean, just as proof, if you look at this channel, I got about 217,000 people that follow this blog. But if I were talking about licking toilet bowls or about some other abstract kind of thing, I would have millions of followers. That's the mentality. You get out here on YouTube and you have some public challenge of, I don't know, like I said, licking toilet bowls, eating bizarre kinds of things here. Oh yeah, I'd have millions of followers. But the fact of the matter is, people are not interested in this stuff. Not enough of us are interested in this, and people just sit back and allow themselves to be systematically wiped out, because that is what's going on here. A complete wipeout of the middle class on a global scale. And it even goes beyond that, people. I mean, I asked you to go look up the death rate. And it's kind of an astonishing thing what's going on here. And there's a lot of talk. I can't go into this, but it's really an interesting, very interesting thing. So start looking into what's happening, and it's not getting coverage. You have to understand, big things that people should know about are never going to be spoken about. They'll maybe hint at it in the mainstream media, but you got to do your own research. I mean, for example, how much have you been hearing about the emergency monetary policy in place right now that is being added to by the European Central Bank to stabilize the debt market? How many of you are being told, who even pay attention to the mainstream channels, what the Federal Reserve is doing with their unconventional policy, again, to stabilize the debt market? It's being hidden. You got to dig for this stuff. You got to look for it. Again, it's all part of the game that is being played. And I think you're all very, very well aware of that. Anyway, enlighten yourselves, okay? And I know most of you are who follow this blog. You understand what's happening, and you're taking action. What do you know is happening? Well, we have central banks that continue to inflate with no end in sight. You're being told, again, repeatedly by the mainstream media, remember how it was transitory inflation? That didn't work out. Peaking, that didn't work out. And now whatever they're doing, oh yes, it is getting better. Oh, it is. We promise you that inflation is getting better. No, nothing could be further from the truth here. And again, it's that lulling of people into some twisted sense of reality that doesn't even exist. And it just goes back to what I've explained forever, that we, you and I, honestly, are our greatest commodity. We need each other more than anything. Forget about the markets and all this other crap connected to it. You got to get out here and get together with like-minded people. And maybe if we continue to do that, even if we just start to expand on that little by little, we can maybe make a difference. But right now, there's so few of us. There are so few of us. And there is strength in numbers. There's no doubt about it. But we need a lot more people. And with the current state of affairs, it's going to be exceedingly difficult to get through to people who are concerned about just making ends meet, trying to survive the current environment. And you know what's going on. The phenomenon you and I have spoken about. Former members of the middle class trying as hard as they can to try to maintain that status. Meanwhile, the weight of the current situation is pushing them down to the lower rung of society by design. Create more people who are dependent on the system. That's what this is all about. Control. I think you get it. All right. And that's the real reason for the wipeout of the middle class here. Create more people who must rely on the system, on bigger government. Slaves. Make more slaves to the system. It's working. It absolutely is working. And another thing before I let you go, the fact of the matter is, none of this is by accident at all. And this has been something that has been put in motion decades ago. And we're just living in the side effect of it now. And who knows what they have coming down the pike. I think we're well aware of it. And it goes way, way beyond the markets, although that's a big part of it too. Rob people of any wealth that they might have had. Again, make them worry, make them dependent on the system, more control, and people will surrender any liberties and freedoms that they have just so they can be cared for because they've been made desperate. You understand? I think you do. All right, people, look, I'm going to end this video now. I think it's been kind of important. If you would agree, please, the thumbs up. Down here somewhere, there's a little thumbs up. I appreciate it. Just remember the phenomenon. When I ask people to give me a thumbs up, I get a lot of thumbs down. So let's see if we can do something about that. We can overpower those thumbs down. There's a lot of freaky people out here. It really is. Who are out to destroy everybody else. And I think you're well aware of that too. But if we come together, we are freaking invincible. I think you get that too. Love you a lot. See you later. I'll see you at the end of the day.